Let's talk about creativity and desperation. So, if you want to be creative, you are also gonna be despair at some point. So, we all go through desperation phases. Desperation from etymology, it means that you are without hope. So, there is a moment in which you have no hope at all. So, it's like I want to fill this paper, okay? I want to write my book. I want to write my songs. I want to, you know, create the project. I want to do something. And I feel like there's no hope. I'm not going to make it. It's not going to work. Nobody can help me. So, yeah, I'm desperate. Beware, because there are a lot of books, a lot of courses that they are too positive. So they tell you things like, wow, you can do it, you can make it, na 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 na, with this tone of voice. Pay attention, because you are gonna hit the wall at some point, and that's completely normal. So I'm gonna tell you, if you wanna be creative, at some point, in a lot of points actually, so it's gonna happen once per month, once a week, once a day, okay? You're gonna feel hopeless. So you're gonna feel like a shit. You're gonna feel that there is nothing you can do. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, how can I overcome this sensation? The answer is you don't overcome it. So it's like you just need to go through it, okay? So this is very important, because creativity is also being uncomfortable, is being in uncertainty. So you don't know if the outcome is gonna happen or not as you like. Okay, it's not something that is completely in your control. Sometimes you are gonna have surprises in a positive way. Sometimes you are gonna have negative surprises. So and you are gonna feel so many times that you want to take everything and to burn it all. Okay, so that's the moment when you are really hopeless. Just to make you some examples, every morning I'm writing a new book on creativity, and a lot of mornings I feel like, oh my God, how am I gonna make it? There is nothing I can do. There's nothing I can write more about. I don't know how to continue my project. I'm not able to continue the project. I'm an imposter. The first book was okay, but now the second is gonna be shit, complete shit. So, and this happens with these videos. It happens with other projects. It happens so many times. Sometimes it's worse and sometimes it's better, okay? But the thing is, you are gonna live that, okay? You're gonna have this sensation. So it's like going into a wood, okay? And everything is super dark and you don't know where to go. Just embrace it. I mean, it's gonna happen. So if you see, to be creative is not cool, okay? It starts from the fact that you have a fire inside, that you have something that you have the urgency to put it out, to bring it out, to bring in the world. So this is an urgency. You have a need that somebody else doesn't have. So it's not easy, okay, because you start from there. And then you have a lot of blocks on your way. You have a lot of things that are going to limit yourself. And that's already a part of the process. Then there are a lot of, let's say, limit and difficulties on the way that are not connected to your blocks, to your limits, to something that you can overcome. It's just a part of the process. Sometimes you have ideas, sometimes you don't have. Sometimes things flow and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you feel like, wow, this is very nice, and sometimes you feel like, oh my God, this is completely, no, this is, you wanna just go under the table or in the bed and cry all day. So that's how it is. You need to be prepared for that. Okay, so if you already experienced that, you know it happens, and you just have to to live it through. If you are afraid of that, don't be, because you need to go through that moment. Okay, it's exactly the moment when you feel the most hopeless that you really find your faith. Okay, and that's the most important part for a creative person, because when you hit the wall, when you feel like, okay, I'm not gonna make it with this project, I accept that. I'm like, that moment, there is the light kicks in. Okay, so you find finally that you know that something is gonna happen. Okay, and it may also mean that you are gonna drop the project, learn a lesson, and do something else, but you know that you are gonna go through that. So it's super important that you just yeah, you live accordingly with the fact that if you want to be creative, you are also gonna be desperate at some point. We all like that poetic, image of the bohemian. Okay, the bohemian is a desperate person. I mean, it's like drinking wine and smoking tons of cigarettes, and uh, they, they burn the manuscript or throw it out of the window because everything is terrible. So we love that poetic, but then we are afraid to live that, and we also want to be super productive. Okay, that doesn't work. So embrace desperation. Also, it's a big challenge, because the thing is, desperation is what makes you bring energy in your project. If you just write your book with Chat GPT, and now there is a GPT-5, no? And you ask, to fill 200 pages, and then you have your book, your novel finished, you don't care. I wouldn't care about a novel that is written by an AI. I mean, it's not really mine, no? So if there is no energy inside, there is no desperation, there is no real feeling, there is no soul, you're not gonna make an effort to bring it in the world, okay, to expand it. Because keep in mind that you need maybe one energy, okay, to bring an idea into the world, but then you need 9 to expand it, to make it published, to launch it, to make so that a lot of people can use it, can see it. If you were not desperate, if you didn't create a bond with your project, you don't care at the end. So keep also that in mind, that you need to, desperation is also important, because it helps you create a real bond with your project, with your book, with your works of art, with your company. And if you don't put all that energy, then it's difficult, it's very unlikely at least, that you're gonna have a lot of energy for bringing the project to everybody. So basically you're gonna fail before even starting. So just to have a recap, if you really want to be creative, just embrace desperation as a step in the way, okay? As a part of the way, okay? Not as your enemy, not as something that you should be ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed. You are gonna also be desperate, okay? And it's like an important challenge, an important lesson for you every time. So just embrace it and do not avoid it. And that's also the way in which you are gonna really create a bond with everything that you do. And it's also the way in which you are gonna discover your faith in what you really can do and in what creativity is for you.